may I conclude this tribute to Metropolitan Philip. And as you know, we're always time constrained because we're reaching out to people via the YouTube, and it's difficult to just pour your heart into like a bottle. I do hope some of the history that I mentioned, especially with clergymen and laity who do not know the expanded history of our church, nor do they know the trauma that the Church of Antioch went through. The late Anthony Bashir once said in an interview, "The march of history has passed through Antioch, and it's a miracle of its survival that it continues to exist to this day." And we lived it. Yes, we lived it. And as we celebrate Sayyidina Philip's life, lest we forget, we can never forget those who laid the foundation of our Antiochian Orthodox faith in America. From Hawawini to Philip Saliba. That expression, he who has no past, has no present, and certainly no future. These giants are our past, they are present, and they certainly are our future. And all bishops should take a look at the life of this man, that his apostolic heart and ministry encompass the poor of the poor, as well as the wealthy of the wealthy. If someone made a check for $5 and sent it to His Eminence, he would sit down and write that person a personal letter thanking them for their contribution. He attended to the smallest details, as well as he had a vision, the widest vision of how the church should march into the 21st century. We'll see many changes in the years to come, but we certainly pray to God with all our heart that the seeds that He planted will produce trees under which we will enjoy the shade and the fragrance of their flowers. Yes, He planted great seeds, and may we enjoy those fruits, and our children and our children's children. You'll find a great deal of his life in my book, Ancient Church on New Shores, Antioch in North America, at the Antiochian bookstore, the Antiochian Village. I devoted a great deal to his life and ministry, and with personal interviews. And the next gift that we have for you will be a short introduction in a video that I was able to produce to be shown at the Chicago Convention as he celebrated his 80th anniversary. It's called A Salute to Metropolitan Philip. Sayyidina, thank you for the gifts you have given us. May your memory ever be eternal. Amen.
المسيح أتى من السماوات فاستقبلوه المسيح على الأرض فارفعوه رتلي للرب.
وقصة دخولي الكنيسة قصة طريفة جدا. أنا منذ صباي، يعني منذ طفولتي، كنت أحب الترتيل في الكنيسة.
Just 2 miles outside of Abu Mizan was St. Elias Monastery. Patriarch Alexander III would visit St. Elias every summer, and in the year that Abdullah was barely 14, he had a chance to meet the Patriarch and make quite the impression on him.
وهناك طلب مني الكاهن أن أقرأ الرسالة في الكنيسة. كان يوم أحد، فقرأت الرسالة، ويبدو أن البطريرك أعجب بصوتي آنذاك. وعندما صعدنا إلى الصالون لنحتسي القهوة قال لي: يا ابني، هل تريد أن تذهب إلى البلمنت؟
فلذلك إذ قد اهتدينا إلى نور المعرفة الإلهية فنحن نجتهد من الليل ممجدين لك. عظمي يا نفسي من هي أكرم قدرا وأرفع مجدا من الأجناد العلوية. إنني أشاهد سرا عجيبا مستغربا، المغارة سماء والبتول عرشا شيروبيميا والمذود محلا شريفا الذي اتكأ فيه المسيح الإله الغير الموسوع في مكان.
بالرغم من ضعفي وخطاياي التي هي أكثر من رمل البحر.
In the late 60s, Metropolitan Philip created Teen Soyo to help channel the youth into the right direction. All the contests Sayyidina started, the oratorical, the creative arts festival, the essays, and the Bible Bowl were all helping the youth to learn about their faith. At that time, they saw in him a youthful bishop who would understand their joys and their agonies, the problems of the war, the problems of the Middle East, all the issues they were going through. He did not stand as a righteous judge, but rather as a loving father. In the late 60s and early 70s, the Archdiocese had good women trying to create programs, but there was no unity. So Sayyidina Philip established the Antiochian Women, along with proper bylaws and constitution. He brought together all the fragmented groups who wanted to have some cohesiveness. In Sayyidina Philip's words, "You are the heart of the Archdiocese."
بدأت عام 1973 أسعى إلى الوحدة، يعني بعد صيامتي بفترة وجيزة. قلت في نفسي يجب أن أتخذ المبادرة وكانت ثقتي بنفسي كبيرة، لأنني أريد وحدة الناس، وحدة الأبرشية في توليدو مرة، وكانت توليدو المركز الأسقفي للمطران ميخائيل شاهين. فقلت لأحد الكهنة اتصل به بالتليفون وقل له أن المطران فيليب يحب أن يزورك. أتعجب هذا الكاهن، قلت له أسرع وافعل كما أقول لك. اتصل بالمطران شاهين، قال أهلا وسهلا. For many years, we Orthodox have been floating on the river of Orthodoxy. I have challenged my people this way. I said, it's time that we plunge into the depth, because the gems of Orthodoxy are not floating on the surface. They are deep down, and we have to plunge into the depth if we want to really discover what the Orthodox Church is.
The openness of Metropolitan Philip was not displayed better than in the mid-1980s, when other jurisdictions rejected their cries. Metropolitan Philip opened his heart and the door of our archdiocese. On February 8, 1987, the first chrismations and ordinations took place, and by the end, some 2,000 evangelicals were converted and welcomed home. In October of 2003, Metropolitan Philip brought our archdiocese into a new millennium with a level of maturity which resulted in our self-rule status. With self-rule came the restructuring of our archdiocese into 9 separate dioceses, each of which having a bishop to help Metropolitan Philip govern over his flock. The new bishops and the idea of self-rule was to prepare the church for eventual unification of all jurisdictions in North America. Sayyidina believes passionately in unity of the Archdiocese and with the Patriarchate, and is a passionate proponent for Orthodox unity in North America among all the jurisdictions. We want to bring America home to Orthodoxy, and that can only happen fully and completely when the churches of North America unite together.